Good morning. So I had another kind of weird, it's really odd. Like it's an odd thought on how to. It's kind of the next part of my personal um, way of connecting with my own inner self. Like the other day when I did the weird reading where you needed to crawl out of your own self and then turn around and look at yourself, there was a strange like life and death kind of this is merger and abundance coming out immediately when I parted the deck. That was what it was. It was a abundance of energy that was able to pass back and forth peacefully between the living and the dead. And I know that that's a really touchy subject for a lot of people, and it's touchy for me also. But I do feel that when God, or when, I don't know, it's just so frustrating to verbalize. So when any gift, talent, skill set that you have is something that you're able to contribute, not only for yourself and for your family, but for other people, you're actually feeding into your own feedback loop of mental information, the positivity that you want to see returned. So, okay. Let me do the exercise first, and then I will do the breakdown of why I did it that way. The exercise is this. I want you to take a deep breath. Everyone always says that, right? And I told you I'm trying to come up with other ways besides silent meditation, which is also important, and you must do it for yourself if you want to continue honing your mental faculties, I guess you could say. However, using your words and your fun-loving energy. I do want to say fun-loving because it's an energy of a jovial space. It's the innocence of childhood, that kind of space inside of yourself. What I a lot of times will strive to do is to clean that space out like a pipe, like with a pipe cleaner almost. It's like taking a straw or some type of tube and, cleaning it out, a pipette, a beaker. I don't know, I'm just seeing a science lab. So basically, if you take a deep breath and you feel the energy of your breath going in and out, you could just feel the back of your throat when you breathe. And when you feel the energy or your breath going in and out, I just want you to imagine that from the top of your head to the bottom of your tailbone, or coccyx, whatever you want to call it, there's going to be a pulley that you're going to start on one side, and it's going to go one direction, so forward or backwards. Okay, and this pulley is just going to keep going. Just get used to the pulley. Every time you inhale, bring the energy up. Every time you exhale, bring it down. And I'm talking about up and down your spinal column. Okay, the way that you imagine that, I don't actually want to vocalize because I want you to imagine for yourself, not what I'm imagining for myself. So the only thing that's important, doesn't matter if you want the energy to swirl around, it doesn't matter if you want it to trickle, it doesn't matter if you want it to, really pop, it doesn't matter if you want it to pulse. I don't care what kind of energy you choose to envision while your breath is moving through your body in this one direction, right? Then I want you to intentionally mess up your breathing. I know that sounds really weird, but intentionally mess up your breathing. So if you need to like have a spaz attack, go ahead. If you can, this is the way that sometimes I'll mess up my own breathing on purpose, is to take a deep breath and hold it. Other times I will breathe in through my nose and out through my mouth on purpose, or vice versa, so that the flow of in through my nose, out through my mouth, there goes the energy. That's started there, you know, in through my mouth, out through my nose. That's the opposite way. So this centrifugal force that exists between these two spinning, we're not going to call them, we'll call them just ideas for today, because I don't feel like linking in this whole atoms and electrons and whatever, but you get the point. There's a centrifugal, a meeting point. The way that the energy is able to clear out that spinal column or give you that additional dash of energy is by collecting all of that in your gut or in your sacral, or, you know, even harvesting it from the ground itself. You know what I'm saying? It's a kind of a primal thing, and it does have to do with like the heart space exchanging energies with the rest of your body. So circulation, right? And that's why I'm telling you about the breath. That's why the breath is so important, is because of circulation. I don't know why that is gonna be significant in a minute. Yeah, I'm making breakfast. Yeah, so the reason why I wanted to, that maybe wasn't as weird as I wanted it to come across, because sometimes I'm scared that if I just say exactly what goes through my head, people are just going to be like, you're insane, which I absolutely probably am. However, it's not crazy to want a clear center of operation and of self inventory management and repair. There's nothing wrong with that. So however it is that you do it, go ahead. For me, I'm just sharing what has worked for me personally. Okay, abundance just came out again. I do need to stress that this is my personal method for how I've gone about clearing out some of my own mental space for myself again. So this is acknowledgement number 26. So this is acknowledging the abundance that's already there. So basically, even if you don't feel like some people meditate a whole bunch, and I know that there's a whole bunch of new age people that say they're really into that, and they go on meditation retreats and all this. That works for some people, and I mean, myself included. However, it doesn't for others. And I feel like there's a really large group of people that are really feeling lost right now in the world because they have no clue, no sense of how to even scientifically break down why having a relationship with self is similar and very foundational in helping you to liberate yourself from mental toxicity that we all experience every day. So, yeah. So I wanted to circle back. One of the reasons I really don't enjoy always referencing the color spectrum or racial things is because of the vision that we all have. You have no clue what other people are seeing. You just really don't. Go look up a video about how animals view the world. I think I've talked about that before. There is no guarantee that the way I see, literally, mentally, and physically, my eyeballs perceive things, there's no way that we could ever guarantee anyone else is perceiving it that way. It's the problem of other minds, right? However, this is change coming out. So there is a change that could be made if we were to expand upon and also open ourselves up to an understanding of a different type of abundance. So the top of this fern is going to unfurl. I don't know why I just heard where the red ferns grow. It's the same way that these are all of the buds on these individual stalks have now opened themselves. And that is more or less what I'm saying. First, use your breath and use that as a guide. So when you breathe, where do you feel the breath go? Do you breathe out of does your stomach move more when you breathe, or does your chest move more when you breathe? Is it, do you naturally breathe shallow, or do you naturally breathe deeply? All of these things are just observations, but when using color or when trying to visualize that or imagine it, I need you to use your own mind's eye to do that so that you can figure out what color is the energy. How does the energy move? Like I was just saying, does it pop? Is it slow? Is it fast? You need to know those things about yourself, which are things that I cannot tell you because I'm not you. I know you're shocked. Contain your enthusiasm. This is release, number 23. Then we have passion and divine guidance. Let me organize these in my hand. Oh. So the number 23, then we've got passion, and then this is divine guidance. So when you release your passion, that is divinity. You are creating a vibrational frequency for yourself that is actually the most nurturing frequency that you could ever create. I don't know why this is coming to mind, but I read a book when I was a little girl, and I believe it was called Juniper. I can't remember exactly the name of the book. I'm pretty sure it was called Juniper. I can't look it up right now either because I'm recording. But in the book, it's about a young shaman. And that shaman is learning how to plant cedars, like cedar elder trees, old cedar trees. Those ancient cedar trees that are humongous. Like, I think there's one that has a tunnel you can drive a car through it. Those cedar trees, they're teaching her lessons. Just observing nature is teaching her lessons. And so one of the lessons that she learns is that if you take the seeds that you're about to plant and place them in your mouth, on your tongue. Yeah, I know. I'm not advocating dropping anything, but that's what she did. Put them on her tongue and held it in her mouth for 15 seconds, 5 to 10, 15 seconds. And then planted the seeds after that. The nutrients that her body needed were automatically available in the seedlings that grew up to be the plants that she would then consume. That was so profound to me as a mother to realize that that is what Mother Nature naturally does for us and what we can do for ourselves. That our bodies are already telling us every piece of information that we need. That's why doctors can be doctors, is because our bodies have the scientific evidence needed in order for them to, more or less alchemically alter and change the scenery of the vessel landscaping. That unfurling is a nipple. I'm just going to say it. There's no way to sugarcoat it. This is what nipples do. When a woman has given birth, right after she gives birth, her nipples are actually paying attention to the saliva in her infant's mouth. Why? Because it does the same thing as a seedling does. A woman's nipple can actually say, oh, the baby is low on potassium, the baby is low on iron, the baby is low on calcium. These are the things that are needed in the breast milk, and it will pull those things from your body, wherever it needs to pull it from. You might experience hair loss, your teeth or gums might bleed. You can go through quite a bit when you're pregnant, just with your body giving up so much, and then in postpartum, your body continues to do that. It is a natural giving process, and nothing's going to return. Come on, you don't get anything back except for a whole bunch of love, which is totally worth it. Totally worth it. Totally, completely. Okay, but I'm just saying that the body knows what it needs, just like the planet knows what it needs, just like whatever higher power there is out there. I don't care what title you decide to put on it. That also has here's cooperation at the bottom of the deck. So we've got abundance, we've got release, passion, and divine guidance. And then we've got cooperation. So that is the, you reciprocate to yourself is what I'm trying to say. So the thoughts that you have that you find interesting, those bits of information are kind of like, and I'm talking about mentally only. So try to stick with me. I'm almost done because I really want to go get my tea. Yeah, I actually want to go get my tea right now, honestly. Hold on never mind. I'll just finish this. What I'm trying to reiterate in many different ways, and probably not being as articulate as I might otherwise be, is that color shifts, color changes, the way you experience your own body, your own spirituality, your own life. That is the same as what you envision, which is why I feel like this is important work for everybody to learn if we're gonna have any type of human improvement, increase, and upgrade on this earth. So cooperating with the earth means that you're cooperating with yourself. As just, I know that I'm not even a sappy, phony, corny type person like that, to be quite honest with you, but that is the truth. So if the faster the rest of the world comes to terms with that inner truth about the things that we're growing inside of ourselves, the places that our garden needs to be pruned or cut back, and the places where we would like to see it flourish. If we can't discern or figure out those things for ourselves, then there's really no reason to be comparing or contrasting notes with anyone else. Yeah, here's void. This is holding space. Remember, I was just talking about opening that mental space or helping these buds. I'm going to call them whatever. Milk, ducks, buds. It's a flow is what I'm trying to say. So the void, that emptiness is where things can grow. But until we do the pruning work, until we do this inner, starting the energy on this side and matching the energy on this side, or doing vice versa, whatever works for you. Pat your head, rub your stomach. I can't even do it right now. But all I'm trying to say is rub your stomach, pat your stomach, rub your head. I don't know. You understand what I'm trying to say? These oppositional energies need to come into homeostasis with one another in order for there to be space so that abundance can even exist. This let's think about if this seedling was put into a vacuum cleaner or a vacuum of space, right? So there's a vacuum of space, has no oxygen, no technical room, you know what I mean? Like, this would not be able to unfurl. It would have no way to stretch, no way to expand, no directional impetus, honestly. But this, with the space, that is abundance. Because as soon as it's got the space, as soon as the roots have the space in the soil, and as soon as the branches have the space in the air, that's when we're simultaneously planting our feet in the sand or in the dirt, and bringing our vibration upwards or higher to this more ethereal realm that is non-tangible and has everything to do with the energy exchanges that we experience on a very constant level. So yeah. So we have space for abundance here. That's always a good thing. Then we have cooperation with Earth. Hey, I got Stormy in the reverse. This is coming out with release, number 23. So that Stormy card has a couple different meanings. However, it also means, you know, emotional turbulence, and that is the kind of what we're pipe cleaning out of. I don't know if anybody has ever been in sales before, but they have this, it's like a saying or whatever, when they're teaching you about the sales process, especially if you're paid on commission or something like that. You receive leads, right? Which are just people that might be interested in your business. And you start creating a document or a log. As soon as you start entering data into that log, entering points of interest from your clientele, from yourself, it doesn't really matter. It's called a pipeline. And every time this pipeline, you shove one piece of information, one client goes in the pipeline. It's not going to fall out the other end until you've shoved enough things down the pipeline that then you get a reciprocal trickle. That's what we're doing spiritually, physically, emotionally, and mentally. How our mental is different from all those things, that's what we're trying to give autonomy, so that's got space to imagine growing beyond anything that we've already experienced before. So this is courage at the bottom of the deck. I didn't really flip. I don't know. I'm just gonna do these three because I didn't really shuffle like that. And then we have the key. So this key, it's like if you have the courage to release some of the turbulence in your life, some of the rough feelings, some of the way that you perceive things, some of the way that, like, accepting the things that you cannot change, and then doing your best to pinpoint those data points or take note of the places that you have been encouraged to be a passionate person about yourself or about the earth or whatever makes you happy. That is the key to divinity. So this key is a key that is I don't know why keynote speaker keeps coming to mind when I see a key these days, but that does come to mind. This is about speaking into the void or manifesting into the void, about creating an energy flow that matches that of the void. You have space, and if you've got time today, we can get to know your own body in a way that probably would blow a lot of people's minds. Yeah, here's focus. It actually came out in the reverse, but with the focus card, it doesn't tend to matter because if you look at this bow and arrow, it's bass backwards. You see how that if you were holding it from here, pulling the bow back, that the bow would need to be arched this way instead of this way? I mean, maybe it's an interpretive bow. Maybe these people know how to use it. I don't I'm not much of an archer. So anyway, yeah, I'm going to leave this deck here. Since focus came out on the bottom of the deck, I'll put it there with the cooperation on the bottom of the other deck. And let's see, what do I want to use? Okay. I'm gonna use the this goddess deck. I actually only want, I'm gonna take two actually, one for before, one for after, that, which is really irrelevant. You can switch it if it makes more sense for you. This is a void of space right here. This is a complete void. So you could fill it full of whatever, before, after, you know, whatever is functional for your energy to get, you know. Here's liberation. This is number 37. It's Queen Mother Nanny. And I do just want to say, I feel like she's dancing through a field of these flowers that are just like all around. I feel like it looks like fireworks. And that she has like some type of a halo around her head, but it's really just, it's her own vibrational presence. It's a glowing orb. I mean, it's supposed to be like the sun, obviously, but it looks like a glowing orb. This is really weird. I've never actually noticed this in this card before, but I do feel like it's relevant. There's a man hiding in her bushes. I'm not even playing. Look. Do you see that face? Okay. That's super interesting to me because I heard face in the flowers. So I don't know if you ever seen the Gnome Mobile. It's like an old-fashioned children's movie, but you should go watch it. It was like one of my favorite movies growing up. Like literally one of my favorite movies growing up. But that's kind of what this reminds me of. The nymphs, the fairies, the sprites, the all of the mystical creatures, that the gnomeland creatures that live in harmony together. There is a message that is coming out from that there. I'm gonna leave it here and see if the message just comes out by itself, and then I'll tell you if it doesn't. But I just keep in mind that if there have been however many species coexisting peacefully on this planet until, I don't know, human life arrived, I'll just do the reading, but I do want to keep that in mind. And the only reason I'm keeping it in mind is to get this cooperation with the earth back focused again. You cannot fix a problem if you don't know what it is. So liberation is the obvious point here. It's we're making abundant room for freedom. That's at the top of the reading right here. Let's see what comes out with number 23, release and stormy in the reverse. It's stormy in the reverse, by the way. Can you guys see this? I guess I can try to be a little bit more accommodating with the cards. Accommodating. Okay. Okay. So I'm just going to show you this. We have Radical Rebirth, which is number 5. She's got 2 lions. We've got Stormy in the reverse, and then we've got Release, number 23 in the upright. So the point of making room for liberation and abundance, you don't really have to use discernment or develop a deeper sense of like emotional intelligence if you're able to really seriously refine your autonomic nervous system. And that's to the point where every time that you have a gut feeling or a gut reaction to something, you're able to take note of it and just observe it, sit with it, and identify what that is. Like, is this joy? Is this anxiety? Is this euphoria? Is this terror? Is this apprehension? Is this being unsure? You understand what I mean? That's the self-inventory you have to continuously take and be as brutally honest as possible. That's the twins here. It's the good and the bad. It's both sides of the energy. They look exactly alike. Because if there's a void of space that has no directional incentive, you get to choose which direction you're going. And who are we to say which direction this one's going and that one's going? I also am seeing a Chinese, like 2 Chinese lions sitting there with their hands. When their hand is on a ball, it's a little boy. And when the hand is on a baby, it's a little girl. Just so you know. But that is kind of the same regal presence of the yin-yang energy that kind of has to be in tandem with one another in order for this chaotic order to come into play and to cause space and a void for us to exist the way that we want to show up. Okay. There's something about the Gnome and then like rubbish. I just see like fairies and woodland nymphs. Yeah, like rolling up their sleeves or like about to put in some like really major elbow grease. Okay. Like a cleanup effort of gigantic proportions. It's like that. It's yeah, I'm just getting goosebumps. I don't know if you can see that, but there's something about that where even the unseen entities and forces. I'm gonna switch decks for just 1 second. I'm gonna lay this right here and I'll come back to it, but I really want to see if I'm channeling this correctly. There are unseen entities and forces, even the unheard animals, plants, everything on this planet, I think is kind of screaming at the top of its lungs. Yeah. It does have on a mask. They don't really know English that well. Some plants, you know, some animals, they don't really know English that well. If you ever noticed, even like domesticated animals, they don't respond if you speak to them in a different language. It's like you're calling them a different name than their own. Just try it sometime if you ever meet a dog from a different country. Just try calling it in your native language and see what happens. I mean, don't like surprise it, like catch it off guard, but just, you know, make eye contact and talk to it. It doesn't have any clue what you're talking about. Emotionally is the only way that they can connect with you when they don't have the tools, the wherewithal. They don't have your speech. They don't have that. So yeah, I want 2 more, please. So basically, I feel like the earth is trying to say, I don't have the tools. I don't know if I'm not speaking loud enough or if your ears are not all tuned. I don't know what's going on, but there's like a disconnect in the gifts that are the earth is like trying to give us gifts. It wants to give you the gift. The same way that a mother's body wants to support her offspring naturally. You know, that's what the earth wants to do, but it cannot right now for one reason or another. And it does have, I want to say that this little girl is in all white, and there's like this, there's some type, that's the pipeline. I'm just now seeing the pipeline going, actually preventing her. Do you see these two? Don't pay attention to the actual art, please. Just go with the lines. Look at the lines. Do you see these lateral lines here? It's like the like 2 tower moments right there. This pipeline is what's keeping a lot of people afloat from having a tower moment where all of their finances, their abundance topples over and they're given no choice but to experience a lot of really negative things or feelings, right? I don't think that's what the earth wants for us. That's what this is saying. And I think that there's actually, yeah, here's Legba in reverse. I'll come back to that. I think there's actually a reason that all of these little trinkets and tidbits and mystical magic, when you're little, if you're a little girl, if you have a little girl, you probably know how much joy it brings little girls to come across small sparkly things. Or like have a fairy godmother wand. Or whatever she sees in her vision that she wants. That's these trinkets. It's finding little pieces of pyrite glittering on the path that you're going down. Little pieces of mica, small little pieces of crystals. You know what I'm saying? There's a path well beaten, is what I want to say, and there's also a tower moment that is I don't know why I'm now seeing the symbol pi, but it's like we've been given some of these trinkets. A lot of us can't even see the trinkets. It's kind of the bell on the Polar Express. We've forgotten how to believe in ourselves, and we've also forgotten how to believe in any kind of magic, which is why Papa Legba just popped out. Magic is different from mysticism. Somebody who does magic is more like a witch or a warlock or an alchemist, right? Then there are entities that already exist. They just do. Like the mythical, the nymphs, the woodland gnomes, all these. I don't care if you believe that they physically exist or not. I'm talking about the spirit of a tree. Why does the tree, the bark of the tree become poisonous when it gets wet? Because the tree that's its defense mechanism. Just like a cat has claws and a dog has teeth. The tree has a defense mechanism. So you, as a person, you also have defense mechanisms. And this is we're looking at right now how to break down each individual step. It's like a stepping stone. I'm now seeing it like that trail. I don't know why I always think about the shack sometimes when I use this, but it's stones skipping across the top of the water, like footprints, just leaving really expansive ripples that are very calm, but that definitely shake the surface of the entire body of water. Anything else from woodland gnomes, nymphs, and fairies that we need to know in this moment? Oh my God, I feel like getting emotional. I'm not, but I am just gonna say, they just want you to know they really do exist. So if you ever feel like, Peter Pan was clapping for Tinkerbell for no reason, you would be mistaken. That is the magic of this world. Yes. And it cannot flow for some reason right now. It is, these are all 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. These are all spirits. These are literally spiritual babies. Do you see the baby spirits? They're tiny little embryos, or they're just little babies. I don't know. They're nestled into their little cocoons of light and love, and they have all the potential in the world. As soon as they burst out of that is the trickle of water. That is the percolating of thoughts. That is the understanding that you may not believe something that someone else can see. That you don't know what someone else is looking at. It's the problem of other minds. As soon as you figure out that there is a problem of other minds, you will no longer have to think about that. That's when your brain, look how this water is actually like levitating. This man is pouring the water out. And because of, the fairy dust, I don't care. Don't clap for Tinkerbell if you don't want to. I don't care. Shmee. He's being as soon as you encourage these thoughts, these neural networks, these pathways, these ideas, these belief systems, these experiences to come rushing into your life, literally even it's gravity defying. I don't know why I'm hearing a death defying feat, like I'm watching Evil Knievel or something, but it's literally, it is. That's what I'm saying. Magic is done by somebody else. When you have spiritual presence or entity availability, I will say, then this energy is constantly swirling around you. I am seeing this orby energy right here. It's like when it's pervasive. I don't know how else to. That was really good that came out. They just wanted to say that they do exist, that they are here, that they're not necessarily super levitated right now about everything that's going on though. So that's all. It's all from them. Yep, that would be it from them for now. I think a lot of people are just really excited to shift earthly focuses back towards some type of positivity. Okay, so let's get back to these goddess cards. We have the liberation of radical rebirth. So this is the radical rebirth, reimagining what is possible. That is the radical rebirth. That's the yin and the yang energy, where the we've got the ball and the little baby, right? We got the ball, we got the baby. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So then we have courage and passion down the middle. So it does take a lot of courage and passion to speak your truth, to tell people, oh, I believe in aliens, or, oh, I believe in conspiracy theories, or I really like entertaining the idea of being a witch or a warlock. It takes courage to say those things. It takes even more courage to live that way. So I think this, having the balance of the two, oh, there it is again. If you can see behind her head, she's got all of the, she's got the flower of life opening right behind her, because she has figured out that the only mind she needs to live in is her own. So the problem of other people's minds, kind of irrelevant. It just kind of sloughs away, right? Slough, slough, slough. So anyway, yeah, this is number 22, Gang Gang Sarah. Resistance is popping up at the bottom of the deck. I haven't shuffled yet, so I'm going to do that. I just wanted to show that there are unseen entities and energies that definitely do interact with you, whether you are able to perceive or understand that or not. So right down the middle for courage, passion, we also have Sequoiant. She is the goddess of scarcity. So this is a rare opportunity that we have to fortify and restore. I'm hearing restore, fortify, redefine, and create a new path. It's a beaten path, unbeaten path, or beaten path, whatever you want to say. All of those things are really, that's a rare convergence of source energy that could be used to encourage. I just find it interesting that she's got half the sun and half of like another sun that looks very interpretively different. Of course, I'm gonna go with it. This is that half of mysticism. This is maybe magic, and this is the mystical, the unseen mystical life around us, right? When you have scarcity, you have control. I'm just gonna keep it really real with you. If we didn't have scarcity, well, I'll just put it this simple. If we didn't have scarcity, we would not have currency, because we wouldn't have consumers. If I can't make you feel like crap because I think your hair, it needs to be more curly, and you look really ugly right now, so you might want to put makeup on. You should probably purchase a really nice car and then try to get the perfect husband with a whole bunch of money that can make you look better because you're hideous. If I don't hear that every time I look at myself, then manufacturers, people who produce things, who create items that are actually not something that we really need, they wouldn't be able to sell anything. That's the marketing schema. Is to keep you in a scarcity mindset. Notice there are people who really do go out there and spend thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars on stuff that they don't even want. It doesn't change the fact that when they go home, they're still depressed, or they may still be experiencing illnesses, sicknesses, ailments. It doesn't change any of those things. That's the mindset of money, okay? I was trying to give you that example because when you get in touch with this liberation and this freedom, this abundant kind of open space energy, that's when you kind of get to be a commodity. It's a hot commodity. You are then something that other people think of as a thing to be obtained. Like a actual piece of chattel that they can go and purchase. That's how scarce this mindset is. I'm just hearing bright again. I don't know why I keep connecting with that movie, but if you've never seen Bright with Will Smith, you should go watch it. I'm just seeing that some people are very bright, okay? And they've got a very free mindset. However, the deeper into yourself you continue to journey, the more of that duality is going to be present and unbothersome. You will not be bothered by duality at most points when you're done with the initial recognition of the fact that there are two separate inverse relationships happening at the same time. So it's just it's unifying, or the unification, the unificational forces that bring together each aspect of your brain. It's like getting struck by lightning. This is a Harry Potter. Okay, you know how rare and almost sacred and odd everybody found Harry Potter to be? That's it. He had a scar that would start to burn every time he was near certain entities or whatever. That is the next step of this crawling out of yourself, is figuring out what was searing you. You know, you can flash sear something in a pan. You get the pan really, 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 really hot, put some oil in it, and then just dump whatever it is that you're going to flash sear into the pan. This is cauterizing. Oh my God, why is this so incredibly technical? All right. So this is cauterizing wounds that have been opened by passion. When you create a memory, you actually are experiencing really strong emotion, whether it's good or bad. That's what creates a long-lasting memory. So I can't barely remember what I had for breakfast yesterday, but I can definitely remember my graduation. It's because my breakfast didn't have as great an emotional impact on me as my graduation did, for example. I mean, this may be kind of a stupid, mundane example, but you understand what I'm trying to say, hopefully. This passion comes from this. Harry Potter's mother literally sacrificed herself in order to save his life, because she knew how rare and special and exalted and sacred and wonderful and absolutely worthy he was of living his life to the fullest extent. To the fullest extent possible. So she got hit by lightning. I mean, not by lightning, by Voldemort. And was unfortunately dispatched from this planet. But that's, there's crimes of passion, but then there's also just passion. So let's focus on the passion part, which is kind of more of a divine key than the crimes of passion. Those are probably always going to happen. It doesn't hold much bearing on your mindset unless that's your mindset. Remember, there's this problem of other minds that we're letting go of. No offense, Descartes, but, you know, got to keep this thing moving. All right, so instantly I split the deck, and number 3, grounding, came out. This woman is very voluptuous. And she's also, the reason I'm saying voluptuous is because I want to go back to talking about the goddess energy, that ancient elm spirit, where we can effectively create a domain for ourselves. I do want you to see that the trees have grown over her. They are now creating a archway, a passageway. This orb is still right behind her. But this is grounding energy. This is planting your feet in the sand, waiting for glass. If you've never seen Unbreakable, you should go watch it. So Samuel L. Jackson and Mr. Willis. This is, I just feel somebody being, it's almost like the probability of getting struck by lightning is so scarce that you kind of have to be passionate about it to like make it happen on purpose. You know what I mean? Similarly speaking, the odds of winning the lottery, you know, we're passionate about money, about scarcity mindset of money, but we still play the lottery, which is actually tricky business if you're talking about investments, right? That's kind of the energy I'm getting from this. And you can transmute it or take it however you'd like to take it. This space for abundance and freedom means holding space for yourself to live for something. What are you willing to live for? What are you willing to die for? What are you willing to put every ounce of energy on both sides? I mean, for mothers, it's kind of obvious. And that's what I was saying about the nipples. But the point of me pulling this is to say, you know, that, so now we have 5, 21, and number 3. We have 37 at the top of the deck. And we have Yemaya, pregnant and giving birth to dolphins in the ocean, on the bottom of the deck. I do just want to say that this is a really gorgeous reading. I got kind of emotional several times. First of all, thank you to the water nymphs also, and the water entities and beings, because I know that they also exist and would like some earthly shine. This is the earth. This is cooperation with the earth, because obviously the earth is covered in water. Yemaya is the water goddess. She's the Orisha, the mother. She's kind of like Athena, I'm not gonna lie. She's the most motherly of all of the Orishas. And she is laughing, she is joyful, she is moving towards her success, which is this new earth that she is holding in the void within her womb. She has abundantly freed herself from any type of fear, judgment, apprehension, none of that old rigmarole, okay? She's completely, she's like completely in line with her creativity, and she's just ready to create life. This is number 12, and that's here with 21. So anyway, this is number 40. I think I'm going to stop this reading here because it's very gorgeous. We've got a drummer playing in the background. We've got this cooperation. We've got focus. And all of it is for the earth and all of its elements, all of its elemental influencers. Okay, so on that air bending, earth bending, earth shattering, I don't like that sound. It sounds like so apocalyptic. On that note, I think my I think this is going to be a good place to consider everything.